Remember the Wheelo?
Lawn darts.
Oh, I stuck a kid in the back with one of those.
I took out a window on a car by accident with one of those.
Those things are heavy.
Yeah, they outlawed them.
They always take away the fun toys.
However, get your really fun toys ready to go. Those old tube radios, those Citizen Band radios that are firing up on Channel 11, 27085, where for the next moment or two, the thing called the Old Tube Radio Network will be happening, as I hope our announcers will tell us about it.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I love how everyone applauds. I love how they all applaud for the Old Tube Radio Network, because the audience is anticipating your classic tube radios that will be beaconing across the Central Valley airwaves and everywhere else, thanks to the Universal Media Web at oldtuberadio.net and the YouTube video for all to see and share as we begin the Old Tube Radio Network, something that's been happening here in the Central Valley of California for well over 35 years. We're on Saturday evenings from 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. A group of radio operators and shortwave listeners get together to recreate the sound and the feel of your radio back 1959, 1972, 1968, when the tubes were all aglow. And we will be doing that tonight. We'll be talking to the SWLs, and it is the beginning of our 8-week roster. So we'll be trying to find a new 00 from those with the perfect attendance for the last 8 weeks. Thanks to Copenhagen, Mr. Dino, for a good 8-week run. And I have, where is Bozo Control? I have the item here that has all the participants, eligible participants for 00. Plus, what I did this time is if you've been listening, and you might not be on any piece of paper somewhere, which you really don't need to be. If you've been an avid listener for the last 8 weeks, I've added some of the listeners from the YouTube and the chat and things like that. So just be aware we could be pulling your name out of here. All right, I'm trying to find one. I guess you're supposed to have like a member of the audience come up and draw something here. All right, they're stuck together, and they're stuck together. I only want one. Let's pull one out. All right, there it is. There it is right here. And the 00 is, how about that? Let me show the video. JT, Mr. DD21, SWL21. I think he's done this before, and he was on Old Radio Night tonight. And I'm trying to think what he was using. It was the video is ended, and so I have to refresh that and find out what it was, what radio he was using. Looks like a Galaxy President. It's one of those newer fangled things that I don't know about. And he says he is resting. So don't get out of the chair, JT. We will get you checked in. Here's 00. All right, so it's a Galaxy Saturn and the Palomar Skipper were the radios tonight. And if I click the right mode here, we'll see that 00 is checked in. All right, over to SWL number 1. One of the gentlemen that had the idea to start this thing called the Old Tube Radio Network. And likewise, this guy right here, Mr. OBP, SWL number 2, who was on earlier saying that, let's see, do we have a report from a satellite report? MUF report? I'm not sure. Anyway, Kevin is here. You should be marking in the 7/31/2001. Let's go to SWL3. SWL number 4. And the band has been open. There has been weird skip. Just kind of nobody knows the channel is open until you hear people talking in another state. And there they are. SWL 5. Shortwave listener 6. SWL 7.
SWL 7 checking in.
Checking in and checked in. Sounding good. A reminder that the 23 Skidoo Echo link is up at Old Tube Radio Network or 354870 node 354870 for the Echo link tonight. And I hear somebody coming in. That could be the mini grass. Looking for SWL 10. Did I see Chrissy and the gang online tonight? I am checking in. I'm seeing if they are there. I guess that was... Oh, there's 10. SWL checking in. 30 checking in early. Heading home to turn everything on. So they're going to turn everything on in hopes that the little robin that could will yet again check in tonight from Idaho. Over to SWL 13. And I'm trying to listen to the radio, watch the comments at oldtuberadio.net, and likewise the comments on the video side to see if you checked in. So if I'm a little bit slow, have patience, and I will eventually find you, as well as looking over the YouTube or the Facebook pages as well. Why am I hearing feedback? All right, I'm just checking. I guess it's just one of those things. Let's try SWL 14. SWL 16. This is what I get for coming in late to check things out. Charlie out there in Anoka, Minnesota, helping us out in the front row tonight. The lighting looks good. Whoever did the lighting tonight looks a lot better than last week when I wasn't working at all. So probably Charlie for that one. Thanks. We got you checked in. Over to SWL 17. Turn down the volume in my headsets. I have no idea why we're having that weird feedback here tonight. We'll just imagine that the Martians are around. Let's try SWL 18. SWL 19, who never has a problem with feedback there in Derby, New York. Hello, Chet, who is right here in the front row with the cue cards tonight. And it said, what was it? Oh, check in SWL 20. All right. I didn't know that. After 19, that's what happens. Hello, SWL 20.
Hello, number 20 here. Please check me in. Number 2954. And tonight, also 135.
Okay, I will try to remember all those numbers. Sometimes I can't remember the number that's coming up next, but I will do that. Also, I have the pocket protector at the ready, and I think we have a pen sponsor tonight, so I'll hopefully not forget that. And you sound good through the noise. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, Roger. Well, you know I'm a charter member of the Pocket Protector Club. I I still wear mine. Unfortunately, just about every day.
Well, maybe that's not so unfortunate if it works you well. I've got this is the way people would dress back in 1962, I would suppose. If you look at the advertisements for radios back then, the operator was always in a nice suit, and the family was all dressed up. So that's what we are recreating here. Thank you, Harvey.
Yeah, I'll be checking this radio and microphone in later.
Okay, it sounds good. A little teaser, a little portent of things to come when we start glowing in the dark. SWL21, who is also 00. I don't know how he works that out. From the Wasama Swamps, listening in the horizontal position, just taking it easy tonight after a rousing, as always, a rousing jaunt on old radio night. Let me see if I got some audio. I'll just go random, as we say, willy-nilly into the audio mode for old radio night tonight on the Galaxy Saturn.
I know that might be able to do that conversion.
There's the radio. If you've got the video, if you're watching the video, there's the Galaxy Saturn. Pretty cool.
Facebook, Matt B, MATTBEE, Matt B.
And the on-the-air light.
Man down there, and also the Golden Eagle. He builds.
And the recording, and he's talking about Matt, one of the gentlemen that does really good radio repairs. I think Matt
and a D201
is a aficionado of the Johnson radios as well, the Messenger, the Messenger 1 and 2.
Redo it there, right?
But there you go, Old Radio Night tonight on Channel 12, and every Saturday from the Wasama Swamps, starting 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Sounding good. And he's got the 2-for-1 check-in. Over to, let's see, let me bring my list back up here. SWL 22. And we'll try the Echolink link. 23 Skidoo, who has a lot more clip leads than I do, and is able to finagle the Echolink link. Somewhere, I have the Echolink link here. Looking for 23. Over.
Okay. Yeah, we get Fresno here.
Hello there, Dennis. This is the clip lead frequency here on the Echolink 23 Skidoo, checking in from the beach. Have a great show. Hello to all the FWLs. Can't wait for those tube radios. Catch you later, KA3TEB.
Sounding good, and out there with Annette Funicello at the beach. What are those moves? Sounding good. Hope all is well at the ranch. Over.
Everything is just, everything's fine. It's just a little warm, but the 74 is out in the backyard on a lawn chair enjoying the cool breeze, and I think I'm going to join her. Other than that, Dennis, hope you're doing good too, and good evening to the rest of the SWLs. Back to you, Dennis.
All right, I think that's exactly what you should do, is go out there and join her, and she did a great job checking everybody in last week from the big lounge chair, wherever it was. She had the 50,000 watt transmitter. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right, checking my controls here. And I hear 2-meter activity. Looking for SWL 27.
Number 27's checking in.
You know, I forget. The 27 no longer has to do the crossband because he is, what do they say, radio equipped. I've seen the bumper sticker on your car.
He's AM radio equipped.
AM, FM, and all the time. And sounding good doing it. We've got you checked in. Over.
Roger. Thanks, Dennis. Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead.
Good evening, Dennis, and all the other OTRs on the channel. Can you do an early check-in for me, Den? 650 Pinedale Control. He's wore out. I'm working on his truck.
You know, the heat has something to do with that, no doubt. And it is still in the upper 90s. So grab the iced tea and relax. And the ever-popular 650 is checked in on the old Tube Radio Network.
Danforth, thank you, sir. Have a great evening, everybody else, and what's left of the weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks. I sound like I've got the trucker microphone on tonight with the reverb thing, but I think there's some type of RF getting back into 1.2, one of the devices here, and I'm not sure. It was certainly not doing that in prior episodes. But if I find the right wire to wiggle, it might go away. You are listening and watching perhaps the old Tube Radio Network live on July 31st, or perhaps on the replay wherever you want to go. Live right now, SWL 28. Hello, Gary. Gary in Sacramento. Not sure what kind of skip has been running. I haven't heard the short skip tonight, so may not hear Sacramento tonight. It's this danger, Will Robinson. Signal us from outer space. Something is going on. Let me check. I've got pictures in the way. I'm looking for the window cadaver. See, the sun is still out here in California at about 21 minutes after 8 p.m. But maybe the window cadaver will scare away all the strange things that's going on. Thanks for checking in, Gary. SWL 29, Mr. Loner's checked in. Also a check-in for Dwayne, Mr. RFI out of Idaho. Wonder if the Robin will be breaking in tonight. We'll be listening. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds like it dropped. I had a couple of wires. There were some wires touching that shouldn't have been touching on the desk here. So I just moved them. You know the clip leads I was talking about for 23 Skidoo? Well, that was a few of them. I wish I had the camera. I could show you the clip leads. Let's try SWL 31. Is this any way to run a radio? You bet your bippy it is not. SWL 32. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, the Jingle Singers, and anybody else that happens to dance through the studio tonight. Over to SWL 34. SWL 35 from Cool Cheyenne, Wyoming. Let's see, SWL 35, Mr. Bill. Checked in moments ago. Who's on the big list tonight? Hello to up in the balcony, Inglewood, Colorado. Reedley, California is listening in, and I think I heard Reedley, California on the crossband. I'm going to turn the crossband back up. Who else? Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Reedley, California. Blackpool. Going up the pool from down the smoke below. What's going in Blackpool tonight? Does it say? It doesn't give me a temperature. It just says there's a Winter Gardens event going on.
KB6 GFD.
Hey.
PM6 BNY. All
right, there's the crossband. Hold on. Hello, radio. Can you hear me on mid-power? KB6 GFD. All right, yeah. There's even phase distortion on the crossband tonight. But you are sounding good on the FM mode, and we'll get you checked in. KB6 GFD. Okay, 111 checking in on the crossband with a little bit, but he's in Reedley. That's for a line of sight FM. That's not bad considering we can't do line of sight AM. Where were we? We're talking to Blackpool, the Grand Hotel Blackpool. 3.6 stars. What's up with that? Why doesn't the Blackpool Hotel get a full 4 stars? Who else is listening in? Auberry, California, Temecula. Hello to the Squamish boys. You guys were in the drawing for 00, by the way, because you're always out there. So we'll try again next time. Dallas, Georgia, Woodland Park, Colorado, also in the 00 tonight. Colorado's always listening in. Canby, Oregon, Belfast, Anoka, and a host of others. Over to SWL 36. Shortwave listener 37.
SWL 37 here, Dennis, and good evening.
And good evening, Chris. We've got you checked in here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for jumping in.
You betcha. Thank you.
And SWL 38. Shortwave listener 39. And GWD Labs is in here for the blinking lights. And I've got the receive actually running through the Wheatstone as well. I think I've got it tweaked so that it's not going to overprocess things, but it's going to add just a little bit of whatever. I'm not trying to make everybody sound the same, but I want to keep the levels consistent. So let's see. We've got the 532 up here doing its multi thing. The M1 here, and I even added the compeller. I added the compeller back in before all that because I just hated. GWD knows what I'm talking about. I just hated to waste the compeller and have it not do anything. All right. Hopefully I got rid of the echo. Let's go over to SWL 40. The unintentional echo. I'm going to proxy check in for 40. Shortwave listener 41. Road Dog 507. Checking in. SWL 41. Tuner National Sideband 507 from the beautiful Hudson Valley, New York, where it is later than you think. Thanks for checking in. SWL 42.
Yeah, let's proxy in 42 in the game.
All right, we will do that. Yeah, still getting some of that feedback loop, but that's okay. I'm seeing where that's going. Nothing there. Dennis knows about feedback loops. He has eliminated all of his and sounds good. Thanks for, let's see, we'll get 42 checked in. SWL 43. We got a proxy in for 43. SWL 44. Shortwave listener 45.
Hello, Dennis. 45. You're sounding good tonight.
I'm trying to sound good. Hopefully the skip was in a little bit. Hopefully I'm making it through the noise up there, but you're sounding great.
Thanks, Dennis.
And hello to Captain Robert. Say you might be checking out early tonight, so I wanted to say hello and acknowledge the Nevada station out there near Las Vegas, I think. So go ahead, yeah, do the 10-7 thing, or the 10-10, 10-8 monitoring, and get in a comfortable position tonight. And yeah, Mitch, I noticed about the FM. Speaking of FM, Uncle Charlie going to officially allow it as opposed to unofficially pretending no one has an export radio. Plus, they did the 155-mile banning, so could be some FM skip happening. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see what happens, and I do not know what the start date is for that. For sure. Let's see. Let me try a few other things here. We are doing the direct-to-net roll call. We will have the Old Tube radios coming in shortly here on the Old Tube Radio Network, so stay tuned for that. And we are looking for SWL 47. I talked to 47 earlier. I'm going to proxy check in 47 with the possibility that he may stop by at any moment unannounced. SWL 48. Shortwave listener 49. Let me get a proxy in for 49. He may be out in the mobile somewhere. Over to SWL 50. SWL 51.
SWL51 checking in.
SWL51. Now, there's a station. Dave never has problems with his audio. It's always good. There's never a feedback loop. There's never wacky stuff. It just always sounds good. We should all try to be like Dave when we speak on the radio. Thank you, 305.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR. You knew it was going to happen. Go ahead.
50 checking in. You ran right over the top of me.
You know, I am so excited about checking in radios tonight. I'm flying too fast. I apologize, and thanks for checking in.
No worries.
All right, sometimes you got to remember. What is it? You take a deep breath and continue. The old Tube Radio Network. We'll be looking for the Tube radios coming up. I want to say hello to Levon is listening in from the Hudson Valley. Thanks for joining us tonight in the old Tube Radio Network tonight. Who else is on the video that I may have missed? Prune Picker, checking in early. I'll make sure that he gets in. And Tracy, hello. 98 will be coming up to you. I have a question for you, Tracy. Don't go away about the streaming items. And Hemorrhoid, OTR, we really enjoy your show. Keep the transformations flowing from Charleston, South Carolina. Hope everything is going okay in Charleston. Thanks for tuning in tonight. 81 is coming in. And cornbread. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what I should have done the cornbread we used to call it little tongue exercises, believe it or not, back in the radio television department of Fresno State. We had a couple of them. It was Esau wood, saw wood, and the soybeans were joyously coiling, and tucker. And Cornbread has this one. She sold tube radios by the seashore. So I'm supposed to say that 3 times. I'm glad I just said it once, and I'm ready to go. SWL 52. SWL 53.
Go ahead and proxy, Bob.
All right, I will do that. And 53 has got the X in the square. Page 3. It's your board jammer with an X in the square. SWL 55. Did I mention that X4000 was hanging around these parts? Over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. This is SWL 56.
Just for kicks. You let me fill in the blanks here tonight. All right, 56, just for kicks on the thing. Thank you, Phil. Over to SWL 57. Let me click on the right screen, wherever that is. Wherever the right screen may be. Brown, thank you for making it easy. Brown Dog Audio, SWL 57 checking in, celebrating 3 years with Ms. Brown. Ms. Brown Dog, congratulations on that. It's always a good thing. Can you play the We've been trying to reach you about your car? We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. I should be able to play that sound effect because I've been hearing it a lot. I've been hearing it a lot lately on the landline here, and at the radio station we have pledge lines and request lines and the regular lines, and we've been hearing it a lot on every single one of those phone lines over at the radio station. So I should have it down. I should have it memorized by now. Thank you, BDA. Over to SWL 58. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'd get 58. If I was smart, I could go over to the ditch banks, Ned, where there is nothing, because I don't have it connected up. But
at Bass Lake.
hey, there's the weather report. But we'll get
Shaver Lake reported 79 69.
We'll get Jeremy checked in.
Park, Lodgeville, reported at 72 degrees.
So there it is. If you're at Lodgepole, that's at 7,000 feet. It's only 72 degrees. It's nice up there, and I bet you can see the stars. Over to SWL 59. SWL 60.
No, thank you, Dennis. I hope this thing's working okay. It was cutting out on me earlier. Evening time to the fellows out there. SWL 60, checking in.
60 checking in, doing a good job doing it. We've got you on the list. Thanks, Joe. SWL 61.
61, checking in,
Hey, sounded good, Dean, as always. Thanks for your 8 weeks of 00. It worked out well. I tried to put you in another 8 weeks, but it didn't work out. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, sir. Maybe next time.
SWL 62. Shortwave listener 63. 23 skidoos at sea level, where it's I'm about 309 feet above sea level, and he can see the sharks. All I can see is the window cadaver out the back here. 58 degrees. I don't think we're going to have 58 degrees until October. Where are we? Oh, SWL 63. Did Butterbean, did he make the old radio night tonight? I'll get to Butterbean checked in. I don't remember if he was on the roster list or not. Over to SWL 64. And hello to Smarty Jones. You know, Smarty, you were in the mix for 00. You're always there. So like I said, on the 00, I'm throwing in stations, listeners that are always tuned in. They can help us out here. No 64. How about SWL 65? And GWD Labs is below sea level. And one of those great places like New Orleans or out here in California, we have Death Valley. It's like, what, 100 feet? 200 feet below? It's way below. It's way below sea level. Let's see, 65. SWL 66. SWL 67, Bill in Canby, who had the keys to let me in the studio here this afternoon. Thanks. Oh, let's check out the what's going on in Canby. What's the temperature? Is it decent? 80 degrees. That's acceptable. That's acceptable in Clackamas County. Thanks for checking in. SWL 68. Shortwave listener 69. We are checking in. Where is it there? Ken. There you go. Ken in Tulsa, who is watching the replay video. You are checked in, and we're all saying hello here from the Central Valley to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Up to Morgan Canyon, SWL 70. SWL 71. Dallas, Georgia. Stan, let me bring up the page. I know you are there. Checking in. 10 meters is just now going out here on the East Coast. When I was hearing earlier this afternoon the mobile stations in Arizona just having a good time, I went up to 10 meters and listened for the beacons, and I heard none. I heard no activity whatsoever except for the local beacon here, so I don't know what's up. And then 40 was bad, but so 10 meters may open up. We'll listen in. We'll listen in for some beacons and some stations. Thanks, Stan, our shortwave listener, one of them out there on the East Coast. Over to SWL 72. SWL 73. We've got 74 checked in with the Lemonade. I think it's Lemonade. It may be a little bit more than lemonade. It's got a little lemon slice on the side of the glass, so that qualifies. Over to SWL 75. Shortwave listener 77.
Well, good evening, Dennis. And 77 on the Tower of Power, waving a hand, sending 73s to all the listeners, far and wide. And boy, just glad to be here and appreciate everything you do.
All right, well, I'm glad I get a chance to do it. Your radio is sounding excellent as always, and thanks for checking in.
Thank you, thank you.
And Chrissy's saying she doesn't have a recipe prepared for tonight. That's okay. You don't have to do one all the time. I mentioned that I had transcribed them down. Here's the one for the potato tot breakfast casserole, which I have made. I have pictures of that. That's a really good winter thing because it requires you to turn the oven. And then weeks ago, just if you want the recipe, you can go back to the replay of the video. And then at some point on the chat window, the little recipe will appear, and you have to scroll up and down or listen to the chatter, listen to the witty banter of the Old Tube Radio Network, and you will get the 3-cheese chicken and noodle recipe as well, which is on the card here. And I've sort of put them down so maybe I could transcribe them over to the Old Tube Radio Network Facebook page. All right, we got to continue on here because we want to get to the Tube Radios. SWL 78 from Wild Wildemar. Thought I saw Wildemar. Who was it that was up on the screen here? Oh, it was Temecula. That's not quite Wildemar, but I thought maybe that was 78 in. Gulf Breeze, Florida, walking in. Hello, up there on the balcony, grabbing some popcorn from the Albert and the BC gang up there. Maybe head over to the green room, which we'll find out what's going there in just moments. SWL 79.
79 checking in.
79 checking in and sounding good tonight. We got you checked in. Adam, that's Adam in Temecula. Adam stood up and said, "It's me." Up there. It's me up in the balcony. Okay, Adam, welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network, where sometimes things actually work. The radios always work because I'm not in control of those. When those check in, they always sound good. Let's try SWL 80. And we are going to turn the page to get Steve Aruna, Mr. Unicorn, who is out there listening or watching the replay. But before I do that, I do want to go to the Bob and Steve show here tonight. Find out
27.085
what is going on.
OTR channel 11.
Find out what's going on in the green room and what I'm missing by sitting in the air chair. Tonight, the Jingle Singers are back on duty. They were gone all week. It was very peaceful and quiet. I got a lot done. Nobody ran through the clothesline and took the laundry down the street. It was all very nice. All spots are live tonight. In fact, we haven't even heard from the Jingle Singers. They'll be coming up shortly. See, you wanted me to think that you weren't here. That's what it was, but they are here. We have talked with 3 contractors, which I guess is the thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk to 3 contractors on putting in the pool. 70 feet by 120 feet. What? Are we doing the Olympics? Are we going to be doing the Olympics here? Okay, 70 by 120 foot. And there is room. There actually is room. That's where the towers were supposed to go. No diving board. Okay. I showed them the Costco card, and they said okay. Now, the Costco card is only this big. The pool is this big. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure the Costco card is going to work for that. The pool is like the one Clark put in Christmas Vacation. I have never seen that movie all the way through, and people keep telling me you should watch the movie, and now I have another reason to watch Christmas Vacation to find out what's going into the yard here. We have hired Rusty to help because he was out of work, and I bet he was out of work for good reason. At the bar tonight, Mexican from Toledo's, think we had one here in Fresno, downtown. Yeah, on Venice Avenue. He knows it better than I do. I've driven by it many times. Some Toledo's in downtown Fresno. Drinks from the bar tonight should be good. I saw them salting up the glasses. And as always, don't forget to feed the fish. Thank you, Bob and Steve here on your old tube radio network.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Give a transmitter a rest here.
You're long-winded.
I know, I'm talking way too much, but stay tuned because coming up, the tube radios will be out there and they will be forefront, which is the way it should be. Page 4, if you're following the roll call, looking for SWL 81, Steve Areno, Mr. Unicorn was in there earlier, and he says he will try to get the crystals out real soon. All right, no rush. I talked to Harvey, and we're looking forward to putting them in the big box to keep people on the air, and we appreciate it. So thanks, Steve. Over to SWL 82. And the tater patch sounds good. Here in Central California, OTR. SWL 82?
When we can, go ahead.
Yeah. Who's the tater patch? This is OTR, over.
Well, it's number 30 checking in, go ahead.
All right, I thought so. I thought you were rushing home to fire up the Robin. I'm putting an X in the square on 30, and you're sounding good. Now listen to the replay, over.
Of course I will. Yeah, always.
All right, I love the way the skip just sneaks in. That's the way it's been all day today. Thanks for tuning in, turning on, and getting checked in from Idaho, 30 and 10. Over.
All right, Dennis. Well, it's up and down up here, but you are sounding good. Take care, 73.
Okay, you are really strong, coming in really strong right now. So give another transmission. I got the S meter up.
All righty, we can do that. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, good evening to OTR, and we'll see if we can... I'm cheating because I'm supposed to be checking in a Browning, but here I am checking.
All right, well, cheating is okay on the Old Tube Radio Network, making a good solid S8 on the peaks. All right, 73, we'll be listening throughout the evening to see what the conditions are like. Thanks for checking in.
OTR, this is SWL 10.
And notice when 10 gets on, the signal's even higher, up to S9. Hello, Chrissy.
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, radio. Yeah, you get an extra S unit when you key up.
Well, that's because it's my radio. That's how it's supposed to work.
That is how it's supposed to work, and that's how it's working. We've got it documented. Sounding good from Idaho tonight. Hope you are relaxing now that you're back at the QTH.
Oh, you're a good 9 plus.
All right, and I'm one of the weaker stations here in Fresno. We've got some big gun stations that could probably put you 20 over tonight from the Central Valley, so thanks for pulling me out of the mud. All right, 73, SWL 10, SWL 30, Chrissy and Dwayne, thanks for checking in from Idaho tonight. Over.
I keyed with you, Dennis. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, thanks for firing up the radios tonight, SWL 10 and 30. We've got you checked in, and we'll be listening throughout the evening. Over.
Sounds good, thank you. We'll let you get back at it. 73.
What nice audio and great signal. And that's on the AM. Maybe we'll try it at FM someday. Maybe not. Thanks for jumping in there. The band is open if you know how to do it. SWL 81 checked in. SWL 82. Shortwave listener 83. And GWD grew up in Fresno. Now, I did not. I came here later. But I feel like I grew up in Fresno. SWL 84. We've got a check-in for Cheerios Kid, SWL 85. And check-ins for 86, The Mountain Maid, 87, Tandy Girl, and 88, Snowy Owl. SWL 89. I just love it how Idaho just kind of jumps in there. It's like a good square dance partner. They can just kind of jump right in. Do-si-do and be on their way. Over to SWL 90. Got 90 on a proxy. Over to SWL 91, Felix. Right there, Felix. And also, the first one helped me check out the video tonight. Sounding good, looking good from Two-Land near the Bronx. Put an X in the square. Thanks for hanging out late tonight in the old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 92. SWL 93. The band sounds quiet. There's not a lot of static, but it's open. There's a lot of reverb in my headphoniums tonight, but maybe that's it. Let's try 93, 95, SWL 95. Right there, and checking in from Orlando, Florida, SWL 95. Hope all is well. Let's see, Gulf Breeze. Let me see what's happening in Gulf Breeze tonight. 76 degrees and possible rain. Gulf Breeze, a city in Santa Rosa County, Florida. It's a suburb of Pensacola. So, Florida in all around here tonight. Wish we had some conditions that way. SWL 96, Mr. Prune Picker checking in early. Dennis, if you're listening, we've got you out there in Kerman. And 97, Boston 97 checking in. Hello, Jim. We've got you on the old Tube Radio Network tonight. And over to SWL 98. Tracy was in earlier and mentioned last week that had some issues with the MP3s. I'm wondering what kind of player you're using. It could be that they're set up to do old-fashioned things, because I can click, once they load, I can click on them, and they download into an openable file. It says, how do you want to open this? And you put them in a media player. So you may have some newfangled way that perhaps they're not set up to do, but all of them do play. Well, most of them. I think we found maybe 10 that didn't out of the hundreds. So I'm wondering what you're trying to access the playback with. But if I just go to my good old-time computer and click on it, it downloads it, it says, how do you want to open it? You put it in the player and away it goes. For what it's worth. Let's try SWL 99. And my brain has sort of started to ignore the echo. Even though I still think I'm echoing. Let's try, speaking of echoing, we'll try echoing the right way, and that would be over on Echolink, looking for Tony up on the Echolink, KB6G update.
Check in SWR, Dennis. Good evening, this is KD4BAO.
All right, sounding good from McClellanville, South Carolina tonight, where good things are always going on. Thanks, Tony, from the Echolink link over at node. What is the node that it's on? 3. I'm going to say it wrong, unless I use my cheat sheet. 354870. It's 6 numbers. You'd think I would have it remembered by now after 3 months. 354870. The old Tube Radio Network on the Echolink link, looking for SWL 103. Yeah. Are you playing them on, Tracy, are you playing those back on an iPhone or something? I've never tried to do it that way. Never see what downloads. Maybe that's it. But if you're just on a computer and you click on them, little window opens, it downloads and says play it. But I will try that. I will try it on a different device. Over to SWL, and we'll get Cheesy E checked in. Over to SWL 109. Shortwave listener 110. Interesting. Unless the files are too... the files are big. The SWL files are the shorter ones, but they're still 14 megs, and the old tube radio, see, that's like an hour, over an hour of audio, so maybe the file's just too big. Maybe it's refusing to do that. Might be able to find one of the very short, there are some short files on there. How about SWL 111? Checked in earlier, as you heard, on the Crossband FM. Yeah, maybe it's a size thing. Maybe they're just too big. Over to SWL 113. Shortwave listener 114. Oops, 114. Transmitter KB6GFD on the Echolink. Got to remember to hit that space bar. 114. Thank you, Wayne. I've got little pop-up windows that are covering my chat window as Mitch is jumping up and down saying, you were left the link up. But I figured it out. I'm learning. It'll only take me another 35 years to do the Echolink. Let's see. Rickshaw Kid. Wayne is checked in. Thank you, 114. And over to Fairfax, Virginia, SWL 128. Let me go back to the proper page to see what John is up to. Checking in about 15 minutes ago. Thank you, John, out there in Fairfax, listening in. Over to SWL 131. SWL 133.
133.
Hey, good to hear you beaconing in on the headphoniums here on the Old Tube Radio Network from Northwest Fresno. Hope all is well. Over. Yes, we are all happy when we can make that contact, whether it's across the street or the long path. I think you're using short path here on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. Thanks for checking in. Proxy check in for Mr. Green Arrow 135. Likewise for the Phantom 137. See if we're making it to course goal tonight. SWL 145, Tony.
Oh yeah, Dennis, you're making up the course goal, no problem tonight. Sounding good. SWL 145 checking in.
All right, very good. Thanks for pulling me out of the noise. You are sounding great here at Old Tube Radio Network Control, and we've got you checked in. I'm talking to Tracy here on the chat. Maybe I don't think it's a Windows thing, but X4000 can probably check it out. He's got different ways to do stuff, so that could be an item. Neil, out there in Kakalaki, I remember seeing your hello post. And where is it? Checking in. Weather is hot and humid, southern style. See, Neil knows about California, Central Valley weather, where it's 98, but humidity might be 20. Not so in Kakalaki. Skip was hot this afternoon on 27, 285. I wonder if you hear... You're in the skip zone for John from Motormouth Mall. I wonder if he ever gets off the bowl and fires up. I know I've heard him on 28 before. MMM out there on 28. Also 38 lower sideband. A big contingent here in Fresno Clovis area and the foothills on 38 lower. So as you know, always give it a shout down this way and say hello to the gang here on 38 lower. Kind of hot and cold weather earlier in the week. All right, thanks, Neil, for the update, and we got you checked in. Talking about beaconing, here's the station that could give Motormouth Mall a run for his money. SWL 188, Snow Beast.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all the SWLs. No competition against Motormouth Mall, that is for sure. He has one bodacious station. But 188 Snow Beast checking in.
All right, very good. I heard you. I was listening in on 11. I heard the guys on 10, and I didn't. I was listening, and then when you broke in with this super signal and gave them the radio checks, and I said, yeah, we're in Arizona. We're just driving around. And Bobby's giving them a replay radio check to the drivers in Arizona. That was pretty cool. That's why I like this radio thing. We got you checked in, and you're sounding good.
10-4, Dennis. Thank you. Good evening time.
And Tracy, I will get Jeff checked in. Going over to Course Gold, SWL 195. All right, I hear you, Jim. A little bit of noise in the microphone, but you are there.
We'll try it again.
Take two is always better. I heard you that time over.
You have a good evening.
All right, we are doing well here in the seersucker suit in the radio room tonight. Looking good. At least I'm looking good. I'm not doing the operating stuff too well tonight. And over to SWL 226, Jeff, who does a great job on, on Friday nights, a Ditchbank sideband. Now, if I didn't mention that, that's on 36 lower, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Give it a listen wherever you may be, and check in when we have conditions. Jeff sometimes drives up to the Beacon and gets all the stations checked in. Anybody else before we go to the Tube Radios OTR listening? All right, that is it. I'm going to set up for the Tube Radios. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. And Rusty, a good comment. What channel does OTR use? We use 27085 if you're tuning in your shortwave listener receiver, or the Brownings that has the frequency display, which is channel 11. Maybe you're using a walkie-talkie. Look on the little crystal and see that 27085 or whatever the crystal would be, plus or minus the 455 offset. But I think that's for the receive. And we are here in the Central Valley of California. So if you're not in the skip zone, you can catch us at oldtuberadio.net or on the video YouTube and whatever else is there. All right, I will be back shortly. Going to try and get everything set up for the glow-in-the-dark Tube Radios, and then we'll do what we do best, and that's have this guy stop talking and the Tube Radios start doing the program here. Back in a moment. It's beginning to look a lot like Tube Time. This is the old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The old Tube Radio Network.
And the portion of the net that you've all been waiting for. At least I've been waiting for this because I get to do what I do best, and that's let the radios do the talking. I have the Tube radio list here. I will sign in. It is July 31st, 2021, and there are plenty of spaces for your radios tonight. We'll get that to Robin checked in. The Robin T123B sounding great from Chrissy and Dwayne tonight. And we will say we are looking for radio number 2.
60.
All right, now to get the mouse to work here, we will get, let's see, a couple in there. I've got 60, step up into the air chair, Joe. And then 45. Hello, Paul. You will be Radio 3 after Joe here at 9:06 Pacific Daylight Time. Joe, go ahead with the transmission. Over.
Yeah, thank you much, here, Dennis. Yeah, I think we've got this old Johnson Messenger warmed up enough. I felt the top of it, and I said, well, I figured it's warm. I hope it's sounding okay. We'd like to check in our Johnson Messenger 223. With the original desk mic.
And we can do that. Oh my gosh, you just reminded me that the E.F. Johnson Messenger behind my shoulder here, it is now turned on. So we've got a couple of Johnsons, one that we can hear great and one that we can't. At least we can see that one. So go ahead with another transmission. I'll put the radio on.
Yeah, doggone it. I'm anxious to hear that radio. This one here doesn't have a modulation light. It has very little movement on the meter. But maybe Harvey can fix that one of these days. I hope you're hearing it okay. Now this one here doesn't have any adjustments on the back. It's just a solid, it could be, as far as radio goes, AC direct into the wall. Nothing fancy about it. Little volume, a little on and off squelch there that to me is kind of backwards because it turns the radio on and then I've got to put it back into a lower position. But other than that, it has a Turner, it looks like a Turner Plus 2 desk mic. But it's the original one, browned, that's similar color to the radio. I hope it sounds okay.
It sounds excellent here at the old Tube Radio Net Control tonight. It is doing what an E.F. Johnson does.
Well, I hope I'm not interrupting anyone right now.
It does best. And there is 47 on the Echolink. So take another transmission, and I've got a great picture without the mod light.
Okay. Yeah, this one doesn't have the modulation light. Like I say, she's plain in the front there, but you are looking at a nice front of a radio. Yeah, okay. Well, doggone it. I've got a few others I want to check in. I hope to have the time to do so. And we'll let the other guys get a chance to check their radios in. I really enjoy talking on this Johnson Messenger.
And it is a great radio. It's behind me here. I just like the way it's put together with the metal sides, and it looks like a quality piece of equipment for sure. Radio number 2, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, sounding good. Paul is getting ready to jump on the air chair up next, and you cannot go wrong with the Messenger 2, or the 223, which is all of those other 2 radios with extra channels and an S-meter and the power supply built right in there. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis, for letting me check this one in. Go ahead, Paul.
And coming up next is 45 Paul. Hope you can hear me. Paul, I want to say hello to King Duckford. I feel like we should have like a bugle. Here comes King Duckford tonight from North Dakota with a bit of skip. We know we talked to Idaho earlier, so maybe the cloud is moving up into the Dakotas. Listen in on Channel 11, 27085 for your old Tube Radio Network. Hello, Paul. You are Radio 3, over.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I love this old radio. This is Marina Communications, Buddy, TX11B, RC11B.
Good. I was just thinking we have not had a Buddy base up for a while. Let me see if I can find. There is a picture that is correct and one that is not. Yes, okay. Let me break this. We've got a couple of shots here. We'll go with that. It's a 3-piece radio, and it's sounding good. Back to you.
Yeah, that's the one. You've had it on the web all week, so I was looking at it so much, said, well, I better just check it in. I haven't checked this one in quite a while. The other one I got was a smaller serial number. I checked it in before. I like this old one better. This is the one that Harvey kept saying. He says it's Baby Buddy, which it is. It's never been converted. It stayed, never gone to 10 meter. Back to you, Dad.
Probably would do an awesome job on 10. It's sounding great on 11. The transmitter, receiver, and unlike unlike Browning, they took the speaker and the on-the-air light out into a separate unit, which is kind of cool. I know Demco had the modulator, but this is just the speaker, but it looks pretty good. And yeah, I forgot. I've been busy. Usually I'll change the picture around, and I got so busy I didn't do that. So yeah, that was been up on the list all week. So that's a good choice. So anybody's been who looked at the page thinking that's a cool radio, they are actually now getting to hear that very radio transmitting. And I like the illuminated meters on those things. Over.
Yeah, everything about this radio, I really enjoy the thing. It's even got the string on the thing for the receiver, and it turns the dial for it. Very neat, very old, and it even looks old. It's got a giant speaker on it with on-the-air light, comes on when I modulate, and it's a big speaker. It sure makes a difference in the sound. Now, these didn't come out with a squelch very well on the thing, but it has quite a bit. It's got RF gain, the volume, and you can think it works pretty darn good with that stuff. So I don't know why they didn't come out with a squelch on it. Back to you.
Not sure why they did that. And it's I would say it's pinging, but it's not. It's binging. One of our shortwave listeners calls it the Buddy Bing. And I'm sure you can hear it on your end. Give us a 2 quick key ups so we can hear the Buddy Bing.
I'm sorry, I lost you on that.
All right. As you know, when you key up, you have a little bit of a ping like an eagle. But since it's a Buddy, we call it the Bing, the B-I-N-G. Over.
Yeah, I hate to have a blackout again. It's not you, it's my ears. It's got an awful lot of noise in the thing tonight. It'd be nice to have a good noise suppressor on this thing. Can I have one more time, Dennis? I'm sorry.
All right. Hey, Paul, you have done good. We wanted to hear the ping. When you key up the radio, as you can hear, it makes a little ping. Or as it's known on the old Tube Radio Network as the Buddy Bing. Over.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it works out for you on that deal. Now, a couple of other things I'll tell you about this thing. This is made in Pasadena, California by Marina Communications. So it's not an old one. They only made about 800 of these radios. And this being a serial number 333, it's in the lower first part of the ones they made before the FCC shut them down. Back to you.
Yeah, made in Pasadena, probably right off of Colorado Boulevard. And if you were to go back into the day and go to the parking lot Marina Communications in Pasadena, you might have seen the super stocked Dodge of the little old lady that probably put in the light bulb on the air light. Radio number 3 here on the Old Tube Radio Network, the Buddy Base, the TX11B, RC11B from Marina Communications, the cool exterior dial light that shines right on there like a beacon. I want to say hello to, who else is in? It was S9 Radio. Hello, Greg. The band is open, but it's not the E-skip. It's not the sporadic, or the short stuff, I should say. It is the E-skip, but it's we've been listening to Idaho tonight, and the Dakotas may chime in at any time. So thanks for listening. And Paul, thanks for the radio. It's sounding good. Over.
Yeah, got most of that this time. I don't know what was going on with that. But anyway, this is, like I say, it's amazing. Like you got it, you had all the stuff already figured out for where it's made at exactly. Very true. And it's the light on the thing, I think he mentioned it too. That's the factory light that's put on there. Doesn't look like a factory, but it is a factory. And don't ask me why. Thanks for checking in, Dennis.
Hey, thanks for bringing it by. A classic radio, one of those that I talked to a few of them, and the people that you always talk to on the Buddy Base were never going to let them go. And a lot of them had those, and they had them modified with the 6L6 to beef up the audio and probably had it boosted up into the business band 10-meter output. But they always sounded good. I like the way yours is throttled back a little bit. It's still loud. It has the Buddy Bing. It's got the great full fidelity audio, which I think the Brownings filtered out their low end on the audio. The Buddy Base didn't do that as much. And so they always had sort of a more beefier sound because the low frequencies were coming through. Thanks for bringing it by. It's sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Thanks, Dennis.
And, all right, the Jingle Singers are actually here. They are not on vacation, so I just wanted to prove that. They have gathered around the ribbon microphoniums, and they will do what they have come to do best here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
The station for you, OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network. And I forgot to do the thing that I said I wouldn't forget to do. Oh, I want to say hello to Randy. Randy's up on the oldtuberadio.net page. It's been a while since I've been on. Good to see you all. Yeah, it's always good to know you can come by on Saturday nights, and the Old Tube Radio Net crew will be out there somewhere. Maybe not, 52 weeks out of the year, but we try to do our best. Let's see, where's the camera? Let me get back to the camera here. Pocket Protector tonight. Brought to you by, can you see that? Probably not. Yeah, Scotty's Service. Tonight we are sponsored by Scotty's Service, AM/FM CB. Little did they know, it will be AM and FM pretty soon, thanks to the FCC and Cobra and President Radio saying, we want to sell radios. Come on, FCC. Paging and Communication Systems in Anderson, Indiana at East 6th Street. And so this is a very nice quality. It's no, it's not a mechanical pen. It looks like a pen. It's got an eraser. So it's one of those ones you can erase the ink. Or not. And there it goes into the Pocket Protector. OTR, we are standing by listening for radio number 4. Who was the break for OTR? Go ahead, over.
Hey there.
I think that's 53. Your audio is breaking up. Is that you, Bob?
This is Bob. Yeah. I'm checking in kind of late there, Roger.
Okay, sounding good now. Yeah, someone proxied you in, but I had a feeling you would be by, and we're putting the X in the square.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, appreciate the proxy. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for checking in. This is the Old Tube Radio Network here in Central California, oldtuberadio.net, streaming live. And was there another breaking station? Over. I'm just checking because the skip seems to be beaconing through once again with my with my unintentional echo. And Mike V is listening in from Montana, not hearing anything. Unfortunately, the conditions are weak. You have to be a big strapper. You have to be, 10-8 wall-to-wall. You have to have the big antennas probably to make the grade tonight, although we did talk to Idaho earlier on. So keep on listening, 27085, and see what's going on. OTR listening for radio number 4. And we have radio number 4. Hello, Joe.
Thank you much, here, Dennis. We'd like to check in our Robin. This is the T123B, and I've made a few adjustments on the bottom, though I hope I didn't mess anything up. I adjusted the fine-tune on it. I'm on a Lollipop powered D104, and yeah, I guess I'm okay. You can hear me all right?
I can hear you great. The audio is excellent. Over.
Thank you much, sir. Dennis, now, on the rear side of this radio, I've never really been into it. But other than that, this is a modified, about 10 channels, more than the normal 23. And I'm pretty well set on the dials. The lights are working okay. And doggone it, back to you.
You're set up perfect. For transmit, I'm not sure on the receive. You can determine that, but on your transmit coming in, the audio is perfect, crystal clear. I don't know if you heard Dwayne and Chrissy when they came in earlier from Idaho on their Robin T123B. Yours is as good as that was with the great audio. So it is good to go on the transmit side.
Thank you much. Yeah, I did hear Chrissy key up. Yeah, I was listening for that T123B there, the Robin there for sure. Okay, doggone it, hopefully we can get another radio in there before the time runs out on us. But other than that, like I said once before, this is a modified Robin, and with a few extra channels. And right now we're sitting on 11, and anything below 11, it would be channel 35 on down.
Yeah, with some extra, and I'm not sure how they do that. If it's a synthesized crystal and they jump in another multiplier with it, I don't think those had the PLL in them at the time, but it allows you to get the extra 40 channels before. Well, Robin fixed that with the T240D. Once the FCC said it was okay, they put out a different radio. But before that, to get up to those not yet channels, you've got the switches to do it. But I'm glad that it works well on channel 11, radio number 4. We'll log it in at 921, the Robin T123 Bravo, 1972 to 1976 manufactured until they had to go to 40 channels. It's got 11 tubes, and there is an operator's manual and a schematic over at oldtuberadio.com. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, Dennis.
The Jingle Singers are ready to go. We will tell them to do what they do best right here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And hello to Keith, the mighty Sierra Radio in Foreland out there in Rocky Mountain, Virginia, the Old Tube Radio Network looking for Radio 5.
45.
And 45. Hey, Paul, stand by one, Paul. We'll be right with you. And I do hear the band is opening back up again to Idaho. I hear Chris C. on the Robin Radio, over from OTR. Yeah, we can check in your Robin. I actually put it down as radio number 1 because we heard it. But to take a transmission, Take a transmission on the Robin radio, Chrissy. Over, over. All right, 11 tubes, and it is a green radio, and it sounds good in Central California. Over, over. All right, the Robin T123B, that is the most heard radio so far this evening, thanks to your extra efforts, and is sounding good on the T123B. Back to you. Yeah, I'll do that. We don't have quite the conditions. I wish I had a beam to point your way, but you're doing well. The Old Tube Radio Network, we've got you in, Chrissy, and thanks for checking in again on the Robin T123B. Over, over. And 73. There it is again. We're still getting the openings into central Idaho. They're listening in the Dakotas. They're listening in Wyoming, and they're listening up in North Fork. Hello, Paul.
Hello there. Yeah, I want to check in my Sonar Model E.
All right, we'll go to the next radio and find the Sonar Model E for all those Sonar fans from the Fans of Sonar Facebook page. Not sure if you could hear Chrissy coming in from Idaho, but you're doing a good job on the Robin tonight, and for some reason my Rolodex, wasn't bringing up Sonar. I'll dump into the Model E, and we'll go back to you for a transmission on the Model E. Over, over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the selling price on this thing was $179, which is pretty reasonable. They came out around 1961, earlier ones, so they put out quite a few radios at about that time. The Solar is a #1 radio. Back to you.
Sonar's had a good reputation from the get-go, as they used, what was the push-pull audio, or the 6 BQ5s. I'm not sure if they did that in the Model E, but I know on the later series you couldn't beat that great Sonar audio. The Model E on which you're talking, we're seeing the photo now, 8 channels, crystal controlled, and then it has the tuning knob so you can get all 23 on the receive. And it looks like it's a bit tricky to get the receiver tuned in. Over.
Yeah, that's 8 tubes beyond the crystal transmit. And it's also good to do it with a VFO2 on the thing. You get that on the receiver. So it has all the goodies. They don't have a good noise limiter, which I wish they did. But it's really a buzzy noise, and it's not as bad as STIP, so get by with it. You're sounding good, by the way. Okay, this has 9 tubes in the thing. Pretty good sized radio. Back in there, pretty early radio. It's stock handheld microphone on the thing. It's a big mic. You try to put your hand. It's for a normal microphone. For a person with a small hand, I don't think they'd enjoy it very much, but it's a big one. Anyway, back to you.
Sonar was sort of notorious for their piece of toast large microphoniums. I'm not sure if that model has it or not. Sounds good. Good audio, good signal. I put up the S meter. You can see that it's putting in a good S8, and the audio is right where it needs to be. So no problems hearing the Sonar tonight. And thanks for bringing it into the Old Tube Radio Network.
Another thing, did you check out I didn't see you bring your pen out tonight. Did I miss that or something?
Oh, I did it late. In fact, I just did it moments ago. The sponsor tonight is Scotty's Service, AM, FM, and CB. Scotty's Service, and they are located in the beautiful city of Anderson, Indiana, on East 6th Street. Over, over.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. That's what I'm talking about.
And the old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark. Our fifth radio, the Sonar Model E at 928. Beaconing from Central California, Channel 11, the live stream at oldtuberadio.net, and the YouTube video also up at YouTube Videos, wherever videos are sold. Listening for radio number 6. And the band is open. And hello to Popcorn 913. I'm starting to hear that static that's indicative of the band being open. I mean, listen, the band was quiet, and now you can hear that static level coming up. I'm hearing the British Columbia beacon at 28197, the VE7MTY. So the band is open. Looking for radio number 6. On the old Tube Radio Network.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
And it will be interesting to see what happens with FM becoming a reality as an official mode, and what the gentleman's agreement, the gentlewoman's agreement, what the agreement will be for where one might do FM without causing interference to AM and the sidebands. So there's, talk about having the lower channels, like, say, 1 through 14 or 1 through 20 for AM. Maybe up to 32 or 33 or so for FM, and then sideband from 35, 34 to 40. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Of course, the bands will be opening up. It is now legal to talk more than 150 miles, so could be hearing some FM DX coming through. But like always, when the band is really open, it's going to be a mess no matter what, no matter if you're on AM, FM, or single sideband. So, again, methinks heading over to 10 meters where there's much more space, you can actually have a conversation. But the FM is on its way. And as far as I know, there was none of the earlier tube radios had FM built in because, of course, it was not a legal mode of transmission for Class D radio service. Looking for Radio 6. And Warren is saying, is it true that the Super Bowl will be a 50 kilowatt minimum? I think it is already, even though some people do try and get on there with only 10 kW and make a comment. Radio 6 is on the line. You did this last week. I think you were also a Radio 6. Take a transmission at 9:37. Over.
Thank you much, Air Dennis. You'll have to help me on this one. This is my Hustler radio. I think it's warmed up enough. I've checked all my settings, the tunable receive. I think I'm okay.
You are good. And like last week, the impressive audio from the Hustler, I have the picture of the Rustler, but it is the same radio. And if we pull the little Rustler tag off there, we will have the Hustler. So take another transmission. What am I going to... Oh, I'm going to see where your frequency is at. I think we did that already, but I don't remember. But boy, the audio sure is nice and smooth on that. Over.
Okay, Dennis. Like I said, it has a tunable receive on it. And it has a crystal tone, which I'm not too familiar with. It has your channel indicator. I guess this is an 8-channel radio. And according to my list, 1 is 6, 2 is 10, 3 is 11, 4 is 17, 6 is 19, 7 is 20, 8 is 22. It also has a crystal slot there, which it does have a crystal in it. I think that might be channel 1. It has a squelch and a spotter, which I'm not too much familiar with. Of course, your on and off switch, and a decent meter. Little guy, but it works really well.
Works quite well. Question on the meter. Does it go, let's see, does it start at the bottom and go up? That is to say, as the signals get stronger, the meter will go to the top. Some of them, was it the Miratells actually had the meter start from the top and go down, or from the other side? So I'm going to say it sits, the 0 level will be at the bottom and the plus 30 or 40 is at the top, right?
Yeah, it starts from the bottom. The 0 would be at the bottom, and according to my other radios, yes, it's hitting me. It's reading about 20 dBs. That's huge, according to my other radios. So that's kind of nice. Now the speaker is maybe about a 2x2. It's got a little indentation there. You can see the rustler there has that small speaker, but a big sound. And as far as the back, well, I was told to kind of stay away from the back. But I imagine this one here has about 8 or 9 tubes in it.
At least I don't have a tube complement on the radio itself, but it is World Radio Labs, WRL, which basically turned into Globe. I think when Leo Meyerson sold out, he sold to the Globe Company, and most of the CB radios that they put out were in the Globe mode. So this is probably one of their first ones. Oh, by the way, when I tuned over to sideband to check your frequency, and you're about 27084.5, but that's not too far off. And boy, you have strong... I went to the upper and lower sideband. Your audio is super strong. Sometimes when I tune to sideband, the audio on the radios will drop down. So that tells me that you're fully or very, very close to a good 100% modulation on that thing without even trying. Over.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Yeah, the old modulation light does kind of go crazy. And this tunable receive, that is kind of crazy too. Because I watch my meter as I adjust that tuner, and it kind of loads like a linear. On the high side, once it reaches its peak, she's pretty well tuned. And this one has the old mounting piece for if you wanted to run it in the car. I imagine, I don't know if you can see it there or not, or know whether this one is mobile and possibly base.
Well, I lost the picture. Let me find it again. There it is. Yeah, it may require you to have obviously a different power cord with the plus and the minus, on the DC, and maybe hopefully a fused cord. But methinks if it gives you a bracket, it is more than just a carrying handle. But I don't have the info on it to know if it's obviously 115 volt, but if it's a 12 or a 6 volt, that would be the thing. You may have a special cable if you want 6 volts and one if you want 12 volts. I think it's early enough that it may do both. Over.
Oh, okay. Approximately what year was this one made, Dennis?
I think we came up with the early 60s, 61 or 62. Although, when we were researching the other day, it said the World Radio Labs sold out to Globe in the late 1960s, 61. So if this was made before that, this could very well be a radio from 1959 or 1960.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's an oldie there for sure. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. I figured it was a little newer than that. I mean, due to the features that it has. But anyway, well, doggone it, this is the Hustler Radio, and I will try to do whatever little research I can to come up with a tube count and a few other things. I'm not for sure how that spotter on and off works. Maybe you know something about that?
My guess is you will dial up a channel, a crystal-controlled channel, whatever it might be, and then when you engage the spotter switch, it's going to put a low level, it's going to be transmitting, but at a very low level to your receiver, and then as you tune in the tuning knob, maybe not only your S meter will increase, but the light may also increase in intensity. So that gives you a way to make sure that you can slowly rotate that tuning dial to get the maximum deflection on the S meter and the maximum illumination on the spotter light, so that your tuner is now looking at the same frequency that your crystal is at. Over.
Oh, boy. Okay. We'll have to take your word on that. Yeah, we're going to have to, I can see we're going to have to do a little research on this one. And that crystal tone on the bottom between the tune and the channel indicator, that crystal tone, how do you work that one?
That I'm not sure. I can't, because of the way the picture is, I can't really do a close-up. And one might have to ask Harvey if he remembers what that does. That could just be a simple high-low tone frequency where it rolls off the highs or rolls off the lows, but that I'm not sure about. Over.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Well, we've learned a little more. This is the second week I've had this one on the airway, so we learned a little bit more about it, and with what more we can learn, we'll have some more information for next week.
Absolutely. The good information is that it is on the air. Radio number 6, the Hustler from World Radio Labs, and that it is, well, it's certainly not one of a kind, or it wasn't back in the 1960s, but who knows, in 2021 it very well could be one of a kind, and we are pleased that it is here in the Central Valley and can be shared on the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for bringing it by. Hustler with the Hustler. Thanks.
Thank you, Dennis, and for letting me key up this one there for sure. Okay, we'll get out of here and keep on listening.
All right, keep on listening. Radio 7 is the next one on my list. The band is still open. Christie's reporting that the DX Cloud is now open from Idaho to the south part of the state. So maybe they're hearing WikiWack Radio. Maybe Greg and S9 are out there in the hills beaconing up to Idaho. You just never know. And you've got a thumbs up from SWL10 on the Hustler audio, which does indeed sound great. The Old Tube Radio Network may bring the jingle singers in, and we'll be listening for radio number 7.
Let's do some spelling.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
Hello, Radio 25, beaconing in through the noise. It's not that noisy, but there are things going on. Take a transmission. Over.
Okay, Dennis. I thought I'd catch you under the radar right at the end here. Check in a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB on a non-powered banana mic, and of course the two-piece radio spot button, and the red on the air light is on, and anyway, that's about it. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can finish up in time, but the International Space Station is going to make a pass here in about 10 minutes. So anyway, I don't know if that's probably not going to work in your schedule, but yeah, it's going to, let's see here, 9:59 p.m., visible for 4 minutes. It's going to appear from the northwest and disappear to the south-southwest. So anyway, that's about it, Dennis, and thanks for what you do, man. Back to you.
Okay, I haven't even been outside to see if we have, I know where there's some cloud cover earlier. See, we have lack of cloud cover. 4-minute pass isn't too bad. It's not going to be straight overhead, but if you're in an area where there isn't a lot of light pollution, it might be an item of interest. Right now, the satellite beaconing is Radio 7, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III. That radio never misses a beat. It's been firing up for 20 years. I've had the pleasure of sitting in the operating seat with that, doing a net control, as a matter of fact, with that very radio. So it's nice to know that it's still working and sounding good. Over.
Yeah, Dennis, it is no thanks to me, because I haven't touched it. Once in a while, I'll dust it off, but I think I've pulled the lid once in 20 years, and, it's like the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So we'll just keep riding this horse until it bucks me off. Anyway, thanks, Dennis, and good hearing you, and hope all is well. Back to you.
Okay, boy, the noise level is coming up on the band, so we'll have to take cover and find out what's going on. Yeah, if it ain't fixed, it don't break it, or something like that. Radio number 7, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, and a great picture from, who is that? That's actually Cliff's Radio. It says it's an advertisement. It should be an advertisement, but it's actually a radio from SWL 135, and it is our first, I'm just looking, the first Eagle of the evening. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thanks, Dennis, and we'll talk to you soon.
And Greg, S9 Radio, been listening in on 11, saying it's just noise in Southern California, so it's still a bit spotty. The signals haven't been very strong, but you've got to have a decent radio. You've got to be an operator like Chrissy to get on there and break through and find the hole. Looking for radio number 8. Yeah, look at that in the R band meter. I haven't touched a thing on the RF gain control, and what was below -30 is now up to -20 on the dB level. So the band is getting active. And Tracy, back in cycle 22, I have a feeling, the last two, 24 and 23, especially 24, weren't that great. So I'm impressed that 25 has just started up, and we're getting some conditions. So maybe we'll have 25 will give us a good run here for the next couple of years.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead, over.
Oh, almost forgot about what time it was. Number 20 on a Johnson Messenger 223.
Hey, I'm going to have to find a way to get this one behind me to key up, because it does play. The 223, tell me about that radio. It sounds good. We'll get a shot of the infamous 223, and I'll grab the one with the mod meter this time. Back to you.
Okay. This also has the transmit light that acts as a modulation light. It works all the way around. Also has the Johnson desk mic, but this one looks exactly like the Turner Plus 2, and it is also an amplified mic.
But that is not the, no, it's not the Johnson desk mic, because the Johnson desk mics were not amplified, right?
That is most correct. But a gentleman or lady, don't know which, who knew what they were doing, put a preamp in here that is adjustable on the bottom, like a D104, through a little hole in the bottom. It's got a plus 2 preamp in it, run by a 9-volt battery. I didn't realize that that's what was in this thing when I got it, only found out later on. And after a little bit of work, I believe it's working.
Well, a little bit of work has made it working, and it's working well. It sounds good. We'll do a frequency check on the next go-around. I'm sure you already know where it's at, but just because we can, and I'll put the S-meter back up. That radio is a player. Over.
Roger. 85.1 or 2, I think you're going to say. Something like that. Yeah, the only problem with the mic is they tried to repaint it. Didn't do a good job. So unless someone around here says, hey, I can strip and repaint that radio, well, I'm going to take a shot at it. So Anyway, so it's a Johnson Messenger 223. Probably about 1 or 2 cycles off. And everything seems to work on it just fine. Well, actually not.
Try this again.
Channels 5, 6, 7, 8 don't work or do not work. And I've sent away
Hey, I
for
heard you. If you've got 5 minutes to spare,
several other jobs.
if you got 5 minutes to spare, don't go away after Harvey's on here at KB6GFD.
Have it fully working.
You have got it fully working.
Got it.
It's working well. Did the frequency check 27, and I did have to go up 27.085.1. So basically, on frequency, go to the sideband. Your audio is nice and loud. So that one will work well. I don't know. I'll have to compare notes with the one that I have behind me here and see. We can't get another E.F. Johnson up and running. We may end up putting back in the old days when the E.F. Johnsons were a player every week between the Brownings and the Trams and the Generalists, the most heard radio over.
Roger. I can't tell if somebody keyed up, but this one, that's what I like. I may keep it, may not. The mic I'm definitely keeping, with this preamp in it. I'm going to attempt to strip and paint it, but we'll see what happens. It's got the regular rectifier tube in it, so it does about 5 to 12. If I put the diode pack in, it does 7 or 8 to about 16 or 17. I sent away for diodes and some socket savers, so I'm going to make diode packs for these radios.
Very interesting. All right. Well, it sounds good. It looks good on the S meter. I just from the way the S meter is, I can tell you're probably on the using the Harvey range boost with the microphonium there, but it plays well. It gets an A for playing well with the Harvey range boost.
Alrighty. Well, that's what I hope. Excuse me for coughing again. I'll lower the range boost a bit. Okay. Anyway, I've got another one to check in, and maybe 2. We'll see. Okay. We'll be back in a minute.
All right. Thanks, Harvey. Sounding good for radio number 8, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. And I want to take a pause here and jump over to the 23 Skidoo Echo Link and get an update here. I think that we have a link up from SWL47. So we're looking for radio number 9. We'll be back to the radios, and this is OTR wondering if 47 is beaconing in on the 23 Skidoo Echo Link over.
I'm sorry I can't say good evening from the radio lounge, unfortunately. But greetings. It's great to hear everyone out here. I think there's some internet in this connection here, but it's nice to hear everyone's voices and listen to a nice old radio. This is awesome.
Yeah, there is a little bit of internet delay going on. You almost sound like you're trying your best max headroom. As you heard the final transmission, or the end transmission, certainly not the final transmission, but the end transmission of Harvey on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223 at radio number 8, and we will be listening for radio number 9. So thanks for joining us on the Echo Link. You're sounding good, and we'll say 73 as we go back to radio check-ins.
thank you, and 73 to all.
Can I check this one in?
You can check that one in. It will be radio number 9, and we'll call it 959. That was the voice of Mike, SWL47, on the Echo Link. Go ahead, Harvey.
Did you say 47?
Yeah, 47 was up on the Echo Link.
All right. Okie doke, Mike. Yeah, this is the Browning F9 R2700 combination. And the radio with the transmitter that has a box in it, that works.
Okay, sounds like it has a fan running or something. And it has a really interesting, that is a screaming, screechy eagle for sure.
You have to have the volume just right and the mic just right, then it works with the Vox.
That actually has a Vox? That's right, the early radios did have a Vox, right?
Yep. That was the Vox kicking in. Yeah, this one has a Vox, and it works. And it's a nice radio. I have to do a little bit of work on it. I have to fix the noise limiter and the noise control, but it's a working radio.
Okay, and it's not very happy right now. Not very happy with something. It's a lot of squealing, and who's leaving? Cornbread says, "Good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are." And it's interesting. I was just looking up some music for the radio station. I came across the Schnoz. I came across Jimmy Durante, and now Mrs. Calabash is signing off. Take a transmission and watch your wiggle meters when you do it. Over.
Yeah, it wasn't before. Okay. I'm watching now. It should be working. Speed up, as far as I can tell. Oh! I know what's wrong. Give me a sec.
This is the I Know What's Wrong frequency. S9. I think you were on an S9. Is there an S9 and a 23 S9? Is that two different things?
Yeah. There's an S9 that's got 6 channels. I got the mic cable all wrapped up here. Okay. Come here. This is weird. Okay. Kind of got it fixed. Hang on. Okay. Okay, I had to turn. I forgot the range boost was on. And I have to turn it down with this radio.
Yeah, it's getting better because it sounds not too good with a little bit too much boost and not enough range. Or maybe it's the range is good and the boost is off. All right, I brought up the ad. The 23S9 brings all-channel operation to your base station, has a standing wave indicator, Pi network circuitry, TVI, trap, spotting, switch, and many other features that make it the talk of the airwaves. Also available the famous S9 and compact transmitters. So it is now beaconing.
There we go. How do you like that one?
Yeah, that one has got the full ping. It screeches. It doesn't care. It's going to ping, and if you like it, great. If you don't, that's what it does.
I have to remember to turn the Vox off sometimes, and when it's on, it's kind of a pain if I get too close to the speaker. Alrighty, I got one more to do. Hopefully somebody will come in between us.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to do counting and amounting. Thank you, 25. One of the SWL's Tracy's just saw the space station went directly overhead, so it was a good pass that way. Coming up in, that's about right. It's about 20-something minutes, and it's 10 after 10 right now. So, good deal on that. Maybe, you know, the space station has amateur radio. We've got to recruit an astronaut that has some 11-meter background, and perhaps we can have our first ever check-in from space. We'll have to see, because obviously we'd be able to make a couple-minute contact to the space station. That would be pretty cool. Harvey, you're Radio 9. I'll go back to you if you're still on for a transmission, and then I'm going to count an amount and get out of here, because everybody is wants to get out of this heat.
Yep, I'm still on this one. And I'm going to keep another one in just a second.
Okay, I'm going to keep another one. I will, while you're preparing that, we'll go to the Jingle Singers doing what they do best.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
OTR listening for Radio 10. Yeah, boy, that radio is loud. Go ahead.
Browning Golden Beagle R68T68 by Browning Laboratories. No flushing tonight. And it didn't break. I still have it. But it's on the other side of the room. With the custom D104 with the medallion on the back of the D104. That should be it for me tonight. I'll be out of town working next week, but may be back in time to check in the radio. We will see. And we'll try and have, if I'm back in time, some others to check in also. We'll catch you later, Dennis. Thank you.
Okay, we'll make it Radio 10. For some reason, my video's not working, but we all know that the Browning Golden Beagle looks like. Thanks for your participation. It's sounding good. And OTR is listening and counting and amounting. And the noise floor has really come up. Okay, last call. Anybody need to get checked in here on the Old Tube Radio Network? Or should I say, does anyone need to get checked out? And that could be possibly everyone. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
The old tour. I like the fanfare. I always feel like I'm letting somebody down. They had that big fanfare, and he was, well, I had a radio tonight. Let's see. Everyone checking out. Delta X-Ray 444. Hello, radio. Jumping in here. Well, not so late. Actually, late on the West Coast. Not sure where you're at. People staying up late tonight. Counting and amounting. SWL-wise, we had 61 total tonight here on the last day of July 2021, where I'm sure it might not even be 90 degrees outside anymore. The window cadaver looks like it's actually a little bit refreshed. 11 check-ins on page 1. By the way, we're in the new 8-week roster, so if you're playing the home game, you should have the new one with a lot of blank spaces. And insert in the 00 position, Mr. JT, who was picked out of the hopper tonight. I'm seeing if I have the little JT. Oh, there it is, right there. The Mr. JT. SWL 21, who does a great job on the old radio night. Do I still have old radio night queued up somewhere? I think not. Oh, there it is. Where tonight? There it is. He was on the Galaxy Radio. Look at all that cool stuff he's got with the lights and the on-the-air thing, and does a good job. So catch the old radio night Saturday evenings on the East Coast, starting at around 6 p.m. or so. Okay, back with the transmitter. Oh, there's Richard checking late. Everett. Okay, you are far away from Wild Wildemar, so to be official, let me bring up the list here so that you may see that we have indeed checked in SWL 78. There we go. And that'll bring us to a total of 62 on the check-in list tonight. And I'm dragging my feet. Everybody wants to know about the radios. The radios tonight, we had a total of 10. The most heard manufacturer. Well, it was a three-way tie between the Robins, the E.F. Johnsons, and the Browning Laboratories, starting with the Robin T123B. Putting in the Radio 1 position, it made an encore appearance, and that, of course, is the awesome T123B from up there in Idaho. Both Chrissy and Dwayne got a chance at the microphonium tonight. Watch the replay or listen to the audio sounding good during the roll call. And then the band opened up once again from Idaho to Central California and doing a good job on the 123B. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223 from Joe for Radio 2. Paul brought, as always, some nice radios in tonight. The Buddy Bass, the very loud, good-sounding, great high-fidelity Buddy Bass TX11B, RC11B, and gave us the bing. Listen to the replay. That Buddy has a little bit of a ping, or is it a bing, when the transmitter and the receiver fires up. The Robin T123B number 2 from Mr. Hustler for Radio 4. Paul came by in the Sonar Model E, our only Sonar tonight, but a good representation of the Sonar radios of the 1960s. Radio 6, Hustler on the World Radio Labs Hustler. Great sounding audio, fully modulated. That is definitely a keeper. We're still trying to figure out some of the mystery switches, but it's doing a good job here for Radio 6. Radio 7 tonight, Jerry on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. The radio that I have worked for, Net Control, always sounds good. Radio number 8, Harvey on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, a new one from him, and sounding good, not unlike the radio from Cheerios Kids here behind me that is beaconing. I tested it out. It does sound pretty good. Radio number 9 was the Browning S9R2300 combination, and the very nice sounding R68T68 from Browning Laboratories. Sorry about the weird audio with feedback and things. Sometimes when you get too many knobs and dials, you can have things go a little bit amiss. But again, all the tube radios checking in tonight, they were flawless, as they should be. 61 SWLs, 10 radios, the old Tube Radio Network. Thanks to SearchLawrence.com and Frodex for keeping the Nixie tubes running. We'll fire them up once again and hopefully be here next week. I have been looking at my advanced schedule, and it's very possible that I may be on some holdover item on a Saturday function that I'm doing, which might keep me out of the air chair. But hopefully I will be able to put some postings on oldtuberadio.net if that isn't going to happen. But if so, I will catch you all in 2 weeks, but we'll try it again for next Saturday. Good night, everybody. 73 from the old Tube Radio Network. I'm seeing if I need to make any comments on anything, and I think we are doing good. So OTR standing by. Yeah, I had to turn the RF gain way down. All right, for those, before we totally sign off, Echolink link is down. Let's see what's on the HF bands. I was hearing the beacons. The British Columbia beacon is gone. Let me see if we've got anything else on 10 meters. Nothing. Okay, so I think the band is pretty much 11 is shut down. 17 meters, that's the FT8. A little bit of activity there. 20 meters should be open here at cycle 25. Let's see if we got any big guns down. Anybody doing the... It's pretty quiet. No doubt we're going to hear some FT8 going on down at the end of the band. There they are. WWV looking good.
In particular,
there's 40 meters.
Buying houses here.
7250.
Some of them aren't even looking at the houses; they're buying them on, via Zoom call, and so it's
not bad. 40 is still open.
Demographic land has been sitting empty for a long time.
Not sure what.
Being snapped up, so
the band is long, probably.
If I could ask you, I used to work with the Walt Disney Company for a great many years. What do you do for work, or what did you do for work?
And we can only hear one side of the conversation. And in fact, I used to work for the Walt Disney Company for years. Only because they bought ABC. And I worked for an ABC station.
Is that through a hospital or a hospital?
All right, let's see what's happening on 75. Any AM people? What? Nary a carrier on 3870. Where are the AM stations on 75? It's actually pretty quiet. I don't have a good antenna on 75 meters. All right, well, that's the scoop. That's what's happening on the radio bands tonight. We'll catch you later, 73, everybody, from your old tube radio network. Whoa, look at that camera. Where's that? Way down here. I didn't even know I had that camera. Good night, everybody.
They're underserved. They've always been underserved, it seems like, and it could happen to any of us at any time. We're one heartbeat away from all of a sudden having something that changes our whole life, and we don't think about that, and then all of a sudden, going down a street, and that's not how they started their life, most of them, and they're having to survive in a world that sometimes looks right through them.